The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is Cowboys StoryLine with Nick Eatman.
What is up? Welcome to Cowboys Storyline. I am Nick Eatman, and let's talk Cowboys and Houston Texans, state champs. Let's see if the Cowboys can defeat Houston one more time. We got a ways to go. Monday Night Football is going to be a long week. That's what you need after a 34-6 loss to the Eagles is a long week. Not necessarily, but whatever it takes to get some more injured players returning. Maybe the Cowboys can get Deron Bland this week. I'm just holding out hope there for that because they certainly need him. When you look at the cornerback situation, I think Trayvon Diggs is playing fine. He's playing well at times, but why would you throw his side when you could just go to the other side? Kalen Carson obviously struggled. They put Israel Mukuamu in there. It would be nice to have Diggs and Bland actually play together at the same time. Like to see what happens, especially with Micah rushing the passer and Overshown playing like he's playing. Would be nice to get all your weapons there. Obviously, Houston's coming to town with some good weapons on their side as well. All right, 888-855-2297 is the number to call. Want to hear from you guys. We had some breaking news on Tuesday. Jerry Jones announced on his radio show just kind of at the last second there that, oh, by the way, Dak Prescott's going to have surgery in New York on Wednesday. And that will be season-ending surgery. He will be out for the season. So if there was any doubt about Dak coming back, he will not this year. His season is over, and that's a shame for him. It's a shame that the Cowboys are not gonna have their $60 million quarterback for most of the season. But it's Cooper Rush. It's Trey Lance. Combination of both. We'll see. Jerry said also he expects Cooper to play much better. He thinks he gives him the best chance to win. But didn't rule out seeing a little more packages there from Trey Lance. All right, let's get started here on the calls. Josh in North Carolina is first.
How we doing, sir?
How you doing? What's going on?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you for asking. So, been a fan for 31 years. It's extremely disheartening to see this team falter like they've had 3 years in a row of 12-5, and then they just immediately just fall off a cliff. I guess my question to you is, can this team get it together in 2025 with a good draft class and some free agents, or is this going to be a rebuilding couple of years for this team in order to make another run at the playoffs? Appreciate you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a great question, and it comes down to the development of your second, third, fourth, fifth, first round too. I mean, it's the development of your draft picks. How quickly do you get cheap talent and cheap superstars? If you can get cheap superstars, and I say that on their first deal, on their first contract, if you can develop those type of players to coexist with your star players that you have, that's your the high priced players, that's how you can get a good team. So it's a great question. Can they turn it around? Yeah, I mean, we've seen turnarounds in 1 year, because frankly, and I know that everyone's going to throw the Bill Parcells quote like "you are what you are," but that's not always the case. I mean, yes, that's your record, and no one wants to say, well, are they better than that? But like, go back to 2015 season when Romo was out and they had 4 different quarterbacks. They weren't as bad as that 4-12 record, and then that was evident the next year. I mean, they got Zeke. They got Dak, and now all of a sudden they're 12-4. And so, I think this team can have a quick turnaround because when you look at why the record is what it is, I think, the injuries were just too much for this team to take. But if you do get, Dak healthy back next year and Micah Parsons and Deron Bland and these guys, I think you have a chance to have better talent with a high draft pick or whatever that is. So yeah, we've seen things turn around relatively quickly. All right, let's go to the next caller, Zach in Atlanta.
Nick, how are you doing?
Good. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing well, man. Just tuned in from the jump and saw or heard the news about Dak having a season-ending surgery. I don't think that's a huge surprise. He's going to be out for the rest of the year. But it does make me think about his contract now and how the Dak that we have been calling for, the one who runs, gets in the feel of the game. I mean, I think his game is going to have to change, and I think he'll be running a lot less, just as he's had the ankle break a few years ago, calf strain. He's got this hamstring issue now. I just think fundamentally his game is going to shift, and so I think, for this next contract, the next 4 or 5 years, it's going to be imperative to build the trenches and have a good running game and good weapons and a creative offense so that Dak can be as good as he can be from the pocket. I still think he'll be mobile, but the days of running, 4 or 5 times a game for 40 yards. I think we'll see less of that going forward. But that's just me.
No, that's right.
Look to what do you think about that?
I think you're right. I think you're 100% right there, and I think you do need to focus on the offensive line with the running game, running backs. Also, let's get some wide receivers in here that can actually make plays on their own as well. You're going to call these quick hitches and bubble screens and all that. These guys
that ain't it.
No, not with these guys. Not with these type of receivers. These receivers aren't big like that. So now Mingo is, but he's got to develop into that type of player as well.
Exactly. Yeah. So like you said, get him in the Dak yard and develop him. Get a good chemistry going. So we'll see. I mean, we've got the rest of the season to evaluate the young talent. Should have a good draft haul next year with, comp picks of all the guys who left to the Commanders. But my question for this week, Texans and Cowboys, an old favorite of mine, Brady James, played a season for the Texans and was a captain for us on the defense. So any stories, thoughts on him? I always like watching him play. And he played good ball. So have a good one. Thanks for showing up for us, you and Beam.
Yeah.
And take care.
Thank you. All right. I just saw Brady James about a week ago. He was right over here at Cowboys Fit. Looks about the same as he did when he played, honestly, which is a credit to him. Not all players look the same when they were playing, one way or another. He does. He looks the same. I think he was one of the few players that led the team in tackles like 5 years in a row. So, but good, good solid player. Just was on those teams that didn't have a ton of success. I think it really bothered him that he was on the 2007 team that had 13 Pro Bowlers and he wasn't one of them. I think he did lead the team in tackles that year. And everybody made the Pro Bowl and he didn't. I don't think that set well with him, but a good solid player. I don't have much to say on that one. All right, let's go to Erwin in Denver.
Hey, Nick, how you doing? Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good. Hey, I just wanted to run a couple things by you, get your thoughts on it. One, with the way Jerry Jones runs the organization, I'm not going to say nothing really about that. It's his organization. What is your thoughts on him attracting high-caliber coach, someone like Ben Johnson, based on the way everybody talks about how Jerry Jones has his hands in everything? And the second thing I wanted to ask you, or just make a comment, I'm being from Colorado here, there's a lot of noise about Deion Sanders, potentially going to Dallas. he's doing a really good job here with the Buffaloes, and just wanted to get your thoughts on that, and I'll listen to what you have to say. Thanks.
All right. Well, we talked about it. I say this at least once a show now. I mean, I'm really not going to get into future coaches down the road. I don't think that's the right place to do that here. And I understand that that's natural to talk about, especially when you have a situation where you have a coach with no contract next year and things aren't looking good. So I get it. It's easy to do that. I don't know. As far as Dion goes, that's going to be interesting because he's got a son that's going to be a first round pick, I would think. So I don't, that there's a lot of this stuff in there. I don't see that happening here. To answer the part about coaches though coming here with how the situation is run, look, Bill Parcells was the coach here. And so they had success here. I think that's all you need to know. As far as can it work? Yeah, it can work. Yeah, anything can work. If that worked, yes, it can work. And I think there's a misconception on how Jerry runs the team. On people think he's hands on with everything. That isn't the case. It's really not. People want to have a different GM. Trust me, there's guys in this building that are doing GM-type duties. Now, they don't have the title for it, but they are. That the way they always collaborate together, they run this thing together. So, in my opinion, if Will McClay left to go to be a GM, he's not going to have night and day differences of what he's doing here. His opinion matters. It's always mattered a lot, and so that's the same with any head coach that they bring in if that is the case. Okay, that's all I really want to say on that one. Let's go to Zach in Poland.
Nick, what's going on?
How you doing?
Good, man. Good. How's everything going there?
Good. What's up with you?
Oh, kind of regretting bringing my Fire Stick on all these trips, watching these Cowboys games getting tough lately.
Nah. That's what I don't even know what the time difference
that's
is.
That's the part of being a fan, right?
Hey, is this the first time call, or are you calling from another place?
Oh, no. I call out of Germany a lot, but I travel for work.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, cool. How do they look on that side of the world? Because they don't look that good here.
Honestly, probably worse because some of these games I stay up really late for, so not so good. But hey, it's part of it. Some of these guys say it all the time. You can't be a fair weather fan. I love you guys. We had all those 5-11 seasons years ago. Probably on the trajectory for where we're at this year too. But
yeah,
what I wanted to bring up to you, do you think now that we're gonna look at it's always hindsight 2020 after the fact. Looking at where we're going this season, I know McCarthy's still in the building. I'll respect that. I'm not going to bring up other names, things like that. But knowing that this is likely his last year, with the way things are going, he had an expiring contract. Do you think there's regret of giving Dak that top-tier money, $60 million a year, and basically you're going to have a new regime coming in where we are likely on pace to have a top 10 pick, maybe higher, where we could have done a full rebuild the right way. And the reason I say that one piece, and I look at what we just traded for Mingo, to me really doesn't make sense. And I'll give the Trey Lance comparison. Last year we could have learned a lesson from giving up a 4th-round pick, and it could turn into Braylon Allen, for example, when we needed a running back, but we don't have that pick anymore. This team, where we're at now, we give up a 4th. Mingo maybe was good coming out. He hasn't proven anything in the league, and where we're at. Right as we're speaking, this team is going in the wrong direction. I mean, we're going to have good draft capital. For me, I'd rather have kept that pick and seen we could have got. But just want to get your thoughts on those things and hang up the.
But let me ask you this though, real quick. And I'm not saying you're wrong there, but like, who do you want to draft in the 4th round? Like, who do you want to take right there at the top of the 4th round? What player are you taking there? Obviously, it's early. But are you going to take
It is an early pick. I haven't started digging into the draft too far yet, and early, and I do. I mean, I'm one of those guys that actually follow the draft and I'll listen to the content you guys put out. But I also do my own independent. So right now it's really early. What I'm saying is like last year, and I was beating the table, and I got called in, and we talked about Trey Benson and some other guys. When we didn't address running back as a good example, we were like, oh, we got Zeke, we're going to be fine, and I thought that was a mistake then. And here we are. We don't have a run game. Rico's done well for what he's worth, but it's concerning. Is my point? Like Mingo, for what he I think he was a second rounder when he went to Carolina.
Yeah.
He had good tape coming out, but what has he proven in the league the 2 years he's been here? I wouldn't have given up the fourth.
Yeah. Well,
but
we'll see.
My thing is, are we a buying or are we a selling team? Right? Like right now, this season, we're not going in the right direction. Why are we buying?
They're not.
They're not
buying. They're not buying.
You traded capital for a guy that's.
But that's the thing. They're not buying. They're investing. That's the look. I'm not saying that. I'm not going to try to sit here and say it's a great move because we don't know that. But he's done just as much, and this is a sad part. He's done just as much as that fourth round wide receiver that you're trying to get at the top of the fourth round. He's done that. So that's what you're trying to get. You want to get that wide receiver that's got a big body, great tape. The Cowboys had a second-round grade on him. They got him in the fourth round. That's the player you want. You're getting that guy. You know it right now. You're already getting that guy. Don't know what he's done in those 2 years, but that's who you're getting right now. You know this. So that's the kind of player that you're going to want anyways. That's why I don't hate the move. Let's just see what comes out of it. Because what if he is a second to third round talent type guy that you got in the fourth round? You would take that. You can't make the Trey Lance comparison because only one quarterback plays at a time, maybe unless they get real creative. But I'm saying Mingo should be able to play here in these, and you should be able to find out what you've got a little bit this year. That's why I don't hate it. But all right.
I mean, how much control do we have after that?
What do you mean? What?
For Mingo. So, Mingo, he's still under contract, right? How long? Because he was a 4-year?
Yeah.
So we have him for another 2, basically?
Two more years. Yeah. That's obviously the difference.
I mean, it's a tough one. It's always easy. Right now it's not going to hurt as bad to have that conversation, but draft season comes along. You might have a guy that had a higher pick. It could be another medical, somebody slides, I mean, there is value in the fourth. I mean, that's always true. I mean, we got Dak in the fourth, but,
yeah,
you never know when it comes draft season. It's really hard to say that now. For me, I'm just looking at if I would have rather have been a seller this year, just looking at where we're going and saying, hey, well, it looks like we're likely to have good capital, good position. But you see your point, and you're right with the wide receiver standpoint. Yeah, you have multiple guys on the field. Take a shot, would he lose? But I don't know. Some of the decisions we make are difficult. Like I said, too, with signing the QB when your head coach is on the expiring contract, and it's just, are we buying or are we selling? Are we doing the soft rebuild, or when do we go all in and kind of start from scratch? So.
All right, thanks, Zach. Thanks for the call. Thanks for wherever you are. If it's Germany, Poland, he calls in. Appreciate that. And I don't want to take this the wrong way. I mean, I don't want y'all to say that I'm spinning this trade. Nothing has happened yet on this trade, okay? Nothing has happened. He hasn't played. So, it's just, it seems weird that the idea of a high fourth-round pick or the idea of any fourth-round pick is so exciting that why would they give up on this player that you don't have no idea who it is? And if Mingo does anything, if he does anything in these last few games, he shows he has a game or two where he shows some flashes. That's a head start for me. That's a head start on the receiver position. That doesn't mean you don't address it at all, because you could still draft another guy. Because I don't know if Tolbert is the answer. I mean, he'll be a free agent at the end of next year. His contract could just go out. So, I mean, you could draft another wide receiver, but there's traits that they still like from him, and just because it's not working out in Carolina right now doesn't mean that he's a bust. And I think that's what the Cowboys believe, and they wanted to get a head start on it. If he shows you anything, then to me, you do have a head start on next year because you're getting a wide receiver that you think has second-round talent. You're getting it for a fourth-round pick, and he should be a little bit further along than anybody that you draft there in the high fourth rounder. Throw Dak if you want to, Pollard, Dorrance Armstrong, Schultz. You got great fourth-round picks, no doubt about it. I can give you 5 more that are probably not wearing football uniforms right, or they're not wearing football uniforms right now. They're probably working 9 to 5 like us. All right, let's go. Let's take a break here on Cowboys Storyline. I'll be right back here to take more questions and calls.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
We got big personalities. We got big hair, big belt buckles. We got fans all across this big state and enemies in every other one. We even got a big star on the 50-yard line. Smirnoff knows football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks home or away, we rally together. We cry together. And we always rally cry together because, most of all, we got big love for them boys. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
Back to Cowboys Storyline.
Stay connected with the Dallas Cowboys on your connected TV. Catch up on all Dallas Cowboys content like player interviews, weekly TV shows, podcasts, docuseries such as Deep Blue, and much more. Download the Cowboys Now app on Amazon Fire, Roku, and Apple TV. All right, welcome back to Cowboys Storyline. Let's go right back to the phone lines. We got a guy that's been holding, Joe in Bridgewater, New Jersey. Joe.
Hey, Nick. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. I called. This is the first time I've done this, and I've called about 60 times, but hey, it was completely worth it. So we're here.
Here we go.
There we go.
It's official.
Yeah, that's official. That's right. I'll be quick. I don't know if you guys spoke about it yesterday. I apologize. I didn't get a chance to watch the episode. But just some, injury updates. I haven't really heard much about, Marshawn Kneeland, Tank.
Yeah.
The main question was, what's the deal with Bland? I know originally the timeline was supposed to be way back. He should have been on the field by now, but kind of want to know what's going on with that. Why it's been taking so long? Are they just being cautious?
No.
And
he's got.
And then
soreness.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
He has soreness that they thought he would be better. He was ready to go. Then all of a sudden, right before that first game he was supposed to play, he got soreness again, and it just hasn't gone away. So they're trying to keep working through that. But no, they're not putting him on the shelf yet. He's still expected to come back sooner than later. That's still the plan.
All right, awesome. And then one statement. I don't think anyone's done this yet, but if I could have the ultimate Cowboys talk show, it would be you, Derek Eagleton, my man Brian Broaddus, and then David Hellman. We've got to try to bring David Hellman back. He was awesome. That's all I have for today. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you.
And go Cowboys Storyline. Appreciate it.
Thank you. So that was the break, a few years ago. Well, I'm not sure if we ever had that combination. I think we did. I think we did have that combination at some point. I know we've done it on the break. I don't know if it was ever the full time one, but yeah, we've definitely had that combination before. So honestly, Broaddus and Dave needed their own show. Like seriously, they could have done their own. If no one sees this really, except unless you worked up there, but the relationship between those two guys was as unique as you could ever find. Like it was the father-son type thing. It really was. Because Broadus would just MF Dave since the moment he got there, from what he was wearing, how much dog hair he had on him, what time he got there, everything. But the minute anyone else said anything about him, Brian was ready to fight. He was ready to go. So you can't say anything about Dip. So they had a great relationship back and forth, and they were good together on the show. So, yeah, that was cool. To answer your questions, though, about other guys, Marshawn Nealon and DeMarcus Lawrence, both of those two, I have yet to see them during practice. I've yet to see them starting to work their way back in. And it takes some time once you get out there on the field with the cords and all that, but haven't really seen that yet. So I wouldn't say it's close. That doesn't mean it's not happening. It could be happening at a different place, but I don't think that we're talking about a week or two here for either one of those two guys. They could be off of IR by now, but I don't think that's, they didn't have 4-week injuries. So we'll see. Nealon might be a little closer than Tank, but again, we haven't seen the officially. All right, let's go to Tamara in Iowa.
Hey there.
Hello.
Hi. I want to apologize. So I'm going to start off by apologizing. I feel like the last time I called in, I tend to be a little bit not positive.
Yeah.
I don't want to say I'm negative.
It happens. It happens with this season.
You love the team so much, and I say the Cowboys freaking break my heart every week. I'm like, stupid Cowboys, you just broke my heart.
Yeah.
That's my little saying. Okay, and then I'm done. I'm not going to talk about it no more. But I love you. I love Chris. And I want to put some positivity over here. So I call in. I don't even care. So here's what I love about people. I love Rob. Rob from Vegas. Love him. I don't care what he says. I know sometimes he's kind of like me. And he says things that people may not like. But everything he says, I put it in my heart. And I'm like, yeah, the guy's right. And then I love Randy from Texarkana or wherever he's from. He's funny, his little face. And Irene. Okay, so I'd love Irene to come over here. She has hopium. She said she had some hopium. And I'm like, please come and sprinkle some of that in my house. And right now, she probably needs to bring a whole helicopter of the hopium over here. I don't think a little basket, because I think of her like a sweet little fairy, and I think she needs to bring a whole lot more than that. Anyhow, but you and Chris, you guys are working hard every day, and I love you guys, and I'm going to pop off. I have nothing to say about this. I don't have anything to say.
All right, well, that's okay. I appreciate that. Thanks for the call. We need we need to spread the joy a little bit. I really love how the people on this show talk about the other callers, kind of like they're friends. Probably have never met anybody other than when they do those StoryLine spaces on Twitter and that's. And I've only been on that show once. I should get on it more, but I love how they, the community they've formed is pretty awesome. So, and I get how that is. You think you know someone just because you've talked to them a couple times, and so it's pretty awesome. All right, let's go to Robbie, Cocoa Beach, Florida.
Hey, bud, you want some positivity? I got it.
You always have it, man. I mean, Cocoa Beach, Florida. Cowboys. I mean, is it bad over there? I mean, it seems like. I've never been. That just seems like that would be.
You've never been to Florida?
Yes, I've been to Florida. I've covered the team. Yeah, I've been to the Bucks and the Dolphins. Yeah, but I've never been to Cocoa Beach, Florida.
It's pretty cool. You get to go watch rockets go up every couple of days because Elon Musk is always shooting them in the sky. And
Have you ever heard of Coco Beware, the wrestler?
Yeah, of course I have. Come on, I'm 53. I know Coco Beware.
All right. Well, what was this bird's name?
I do not remember that.
That's all right. His name was Frankie. All right, let's go.
Frankie.
Last
thing before non-Cowboys. How's your boy? And how's football going?
They lost last night in the playoffs. They lost to a team with Lamar Jackson at quarterback. I mean, it was unbelievable. Wow. This little kid, oh my God. It was great though. Moving on to basketball. Football season's over.
You mean football.
Now it's basketball season, so it's all good.
Thank you
for asking though. He had perfect snaps all the way. Just hand the ball, perfect snaps. No false starts, all good. All right.
That's pretty dang awesome. Hey, we do have some promising things for us going forward. I know our season's probably shot, but we got two new offensive linemen who I think are going to be really good next year. I mean, this is definitely a year more for, I can't remember his name now, Tyler Guyton than BB. BB's looked solid, man, but Guyton's had some issues, but left tackle, he's always going to.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a lot of guys come back next year. We got two big guys under contract, and I don't see any of the fight leaving our guys. I saw CeeDee Lamb fight. I see Trayvon Diggs still playing hearts, lights out, you know. So everybody who's doom and gloom, man, take a deep breath. There's always next year. We've been waiting for 30-ish years. We're good. We'll do it again.
Well,
and that's my positivity.
All right, I appreciate it. You have anything else, or are you good?
No, that's it, brother.
All
I
right.
just wanted to say, hey, man.
Thank you. This'll be, and I say this at least once every couple weeks, and I'll bring it up again because I think it's important. You're gonna see the fight. Okay, you guys are going to see the fight. You're going to see it in the game. You're going to see a guy injured, keep playing, fight back, they're down. You're going to see that. What you're not going to see is how much are they fighting today. Well, today's their day off, Tuesday, but how much do they fight on Wednesday? How much do they say, I'm going to bring the iPad home, I'm going to make sure I know exactly what this cornerback for Houston does, and what I'm going to see if I can pick up anything on tendencies. How much studying are you doing? Are you doing extra stuff, extra reps, all of those things to try to go and win a game? You're going to fight. Okay, you can go to any rec center on a Saturday morning and find middle-aged guys playing basketball and acting like it's the Final Four, okay, because that's what guys do. So you're going to fight when the lights are on and it's Monday Night Football. They're going to battle against the Texans, but have they prepared enough on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday to go and and punch back when you're getting your ass kicked? Can you do that? And that's when teams, when they give up, they don't never give up on Sunday. They give up earlier in the week, and that's what Mike McCarthy's job is right now. He's the coach. That's what his job and the assistant's job is, to make sure this team fights 7 days a week, not just for 4 quarters. All right, Gavin in Oklahoma City.
Nick, man, you didn't uphold your end of the bargain. You told me if I pick LSU to lose, that the Cowboys, they win, man. I thought you was my genie. What happened?
It was a bad weekend, huh?
It was. If I see another Alabama quarterback run a rushing touchdown, I might throw up for real.
And Oklahoma, I mean, I don't even know if that's your team.
No. I ain't worried about them.
Yeah, I'm sure you could tune into Mix Shots for all coverage of that game, Missouri, Oklahoma. All right, what's up, man? What do you got, Gavin?
Oh man. Well, first I want to say, for those of you who were saying Dak is terrible and we want Cooper Rush, y'all fans that said that deserve to see what y'all saw. This was the.
Yeah, Dak looked better. He definitely looked better the other day, and he took a hit. Jeez.
What are the chances of that? But
this season,
I'm not saying Rush isn't going to shake back. I'm not saying he's going to do better. I'm just saying for the fans who are saying let's bring Cooper Rush, Dak sucks, this and that. This is the game for y'all. The rest of us Cowboys fans, we didn't deserve that. When that was the first game I lost my temper all year. I'm a very nonchalant person. Like I watch the game. I don't really get mad. But when Cooper Rush fumbled that ball and he tried to hop back on top of it, and the Eagles still ended up with it, I threw my cup, man. I was mad.
That's funny. You probably told yourself, hey, not going to worry about it. I'm not going to get mad. It's the game. Probably not going to win this game. And then what? five plays into the game, maybe that happens. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the other thing I came to tell you about was the positive side, and obviously we can all see this, but I think Overshown's going to be a hell of a player. I thought watching Demo was very fun. I thought the defense was fun in general. I'm going to find a reason to enjoy the game. That was my reason.
He's awesome to watch. There's no doubt.
Is.
Yeah, he's a fun player, and I wish he would have made that play on Hurts there, with the sack in right before the half, because that would have led to some field goal. But he was great, and him and Parsons both. I mean, they got something going there, and I'd like to see. I would like to see Tank come back if he is going to come back this year. I'd like to see him come back, and you got those guys, and then you got your corners. If you can get Bland back, I mean, I know Zimmer gets a lot of grief for how this defense is gone, but we all know that it's been shorthanded from the jump. I mean, they have not been at full strength, and they probably will not be at full strength at all this year.
Exactly. Well, if you listen to Cowboys fans, we're supposed to be trading Micah Parsons, so let's just trade. I'm just joking. Don't do that.
I'm not there. I'm not there on the trade Parsons train.
Why would you trade him when you could get 10 first-round picks and you probably ain't gonna find another Micah Parsons? But anyway,
yeah.
The only other thing I had a question for you on was, I heard you yesterday say something about the Micah comment after the game. The comment he made about Zach Martin and Mike McCarthy. You know what I'm referring to. But anyway, I actually thought that was the realest statement I've heard a Cowboys player say all year. I actually liked it. I do agree with you that the question was a setup, but I don't think he was taking a direct shot at Mike McCarthy. It felt like more to me he was just saying, like, hey, these guys have been here in the building before Mike McCarthy. I do feel bad for Zach Martin, man. There's so many players that came through the Cowboys locker room that deserve Super Bowls, and it just hasn't happened in my lifetime. But anyway, I'll let you go. Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks, Gavin. The sad reality is, and I would be frustrated if I was Micah Parsons when it comes to that in the media, because, he was trying. The reality is he was trying to say the right thing. He gets blamed for not being a leader. He gets blamed for not being a team guy. Here he is bringing up Zach Martin on his own, a guy that he knows the writing on the wall. He knows this is probably the last season of Zach Martin's career, and he's acknowledging that, and he does it in a way, and with the words that he used that didn't sound right, and now he's talked to Mike McCarthy. They've cleared the air, according to Mike, and Jerry Jones said on his radio show that he's talked to both sides, and he knows as a fact that that's not what Micah was not trying to throw his head coach under the bus in any way like that. I was standing right there. I like to think I have a pretty good gauge on that kind of stuff too. We all do. If we're standing right there, you kind of understand what a guy's saying. And I got the gist of what it was. It's unfortunate that happens, but it's not the first time. It's happened a lot this year. And that's what happens when you're losing games. You lose games, things like this happen. All right, let's go to Logan in San Antonio.
Hey, Nick, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing? First time call?
Yes, sir. I used to call in back in the day to the Cowboys break and all that stuff, but I haven't called into this show yet, so I figured I would. Nice, glad to have you. So I had a quick question. Speaking of Zach Martin and the offensive line, what do you think would it take for the coaches to decide maybe to move Tyler Smith to left tackle, put in T.J. Bass at left guard, and put Tyler Guyton at right tackle? I feel like that would kind of shore up the offensive line issues a little bit.
So wait, say that again. Tell me what you want. You want who at left tackle?
Tyler Smith.
And who at guard?
T.J. Bass.
And then
Guyton at right tackle.
And then center and right guard the same?
The same, yeah.
I don't hate that, except for who do you think has a little bit more upside right now? Awesome Richards or T.J. Bass?
Honestly, I would be okay with Austin Richards too. He played actually really well this past Sunday. I was surprised about that one. I've always liked Austin Richards, but I didn't think he was going to play that well at left tackle.
And I think and another element to that is the moving Tyler Smith. They really don't want to do that. I think they feel like he has, and I know this is some company here that I'm putting him with, but he has some Larry Allen / Zach Martin type ability at guard. That I agree. That if he stays at guard, just like those other two, they've moved a little bit to tackle. They could play it, but they're going to be all pro and Hall of Fame guards. And I think they feel like Tyler Smith can do that. So they don't really want to move him. So it would make more sense to keep him there and Austin Richards play left tackle as opposed to putting in TJ Bass, which I'm not. I like TJ, but I think that. So you're probably onto something. I'm okay with the Tyler Guyton to right guard, right tackle, but that's a lot of money that they've paid for Steele.
Right,
I mean,
and that was one of the major things. That's why I said, what do you think would it take? Because I just feel like it would keep the pocket cleaner. I'm not trying to take shots at Terrence Steele or anything. I just think that someone else needs to be at right tackle right now because it hasn't been very clean.
Yeah, it's too bad. I mean, they need to run the football better, and he needs to be on a team that has some success running. He's not bad as a run blocker. He's got those traits. He's mean. He's nasty. Heck, I think he wanted to pick up the ball and be the running back himself.
It sure seemed like it.
That was a bad play by an offensive lineman. It's one of the worst plays you can have as an offensive lineman, to give up a sack 100%. That forces a fumble, and then you try to pick it up and you take it away from the fullback who actually should have the ball, and then you try to scoop it and do what with it, and also fumble, and then they get it. You really can't have a worse play as an offensive lineman.
I couldn't agree with you anymore. I was sitting in my living room watching that, and I was just sitting here thinking, like, how is this going to get any worse?
Yeah.
But speaking of running the ball, honestly, I feel like if they gave Rico Dowdle the ball at least 5 to 10 more times a game, I don't think he'd be doing very bad. He's been running the football pretty nice. They just got to stick with the run. But the problem is, I guess, is they get behind so much that they can't. But he's really not playing bad.
No, he's not. He's not playing bad at all. Hey, Logan, we appreciate the call. We're going to have to take a break here. Thanks. You make good points, and glad to hear from you again. Let's take one more break here on Cowboys Storyline. Be right back to wrap it up.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
Alltech Lansing has been perfecting sound since 1927, bringing you decades of audio excellence to elevate your Dallas Cowboys tailgate ritual. Equip your next pregame with the Sound Rover 180 with 6 hours of playtime, built-in microphone, multicolor light modes, and a rugged exterior that's built to last. Visit alltechlansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off your Sound Rover 180. That's ALTECLANSING.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off. Alltech Lansing, official audio partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Cowboys Storyline.
Hey, Cowboys Nation. Amanda Foster has been named your 2024 Dallas Cowboys Fan of the Year, presented by Captain Morgan, for her dedication to the team and spicing up the game. Vote for Amanda to be named the ultimate NFL Fan of the Year at NFL.com/Fan of the Year. Welcome back, Cowboys Storyline. I have a few more minutes here. Let's go to the phone lines. Dylan in Northport, Florida. Dylan, what's up?
Hey, Nick. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. Calling from New York today. A little farther away.
All right.
Florida.
Dylan from New York.
The report, though. I'll spare you that. Yeah.
All right. What's up?
I think it's time we close the curtains on the Trey Micah discussion. He's one of the few bright spots on this team. Yeah, we didn't have a pass rush for 6-7 weeks. He comes back and they get 5 sacks. It's not just his stat line. It's the stuff he does that, the untrained eye might not be able to see or perceive. And I think trading him away for 2 first-round picks, whatever it might be, I think that's silly talk. This team doesn't sign big-name free agent players, so when they draft a star, they got to keep that star because they're not going to replace that star with anybody unless you get lucky again in the draft. So I think we can, like I said, shut the curtains on that one. At least we can shut the curtains on something around here, all right?
Dylan, you're not cute. It's not cute. I get it, what you're doing. It's not funny. Okay.
I'm glad you caught it.
I've caught it 3 times. All right, I got it. All right, I got it.
All right.
It's too dark in here. We need to open things up and shine some light on this show a little bit. Okay.
All right. We'll shine some light in there. The other thing, only way I'm replacing Mike McCarthy is if it's with Mike Zimmer. I don't want to taint a young up-and-coming coach like Al Harris with this team this season. I don't want to give somebody their first head coaching experience to be just this bad team that has no hope. So if you want to replace McCarthy with Zimmer, that's fine. But other than that, I'm keeping McCarthy around, and we'll just ride this thing out and see where it goes.
Yeah.
But that's all I got, man. Thanks.
Appreciate it. I think Jerry has said it several times. He doesn't want he didn't like having to fire Wade Phillips, and he really hasn't had to fire. That's the last coach he's fired. He didn't fire Jason Garrett. His contract went out. I think there's something to this where he understands that he knows Mike McCarthy is a good coach, and he knows that 12 wins, and then this year it's not going to be that, and there's a lot of reasons why, and injuries is just one of them, but it's a big one, and so he knows that he's a good coach, and I don't think he wants to have to fire him, and like you said, ride it out. But I think that they're going to have to continue to play hard. He has to continue to show the fight for this team and be prepared. And they, that's one thing that they haven't been. They haven't been very prepared. So, the coaching gets some blame for some of this, not just injuries. It's the guys that are out here having to play haven't looked prepared all the time. All right, we've only got a few more minutes to go on this show. The lines are open, but we really got to wrap it up. If somebody calls like super quick, we would get that done, but probably going to be the end of it. Oh, we got one. We got a winner. He's the champ from Nebraska.
Hey, Nick, what's going on?
How are you doing?
Not bad. Hey, I'll be quick. I know you're about to finish up here.
About to wrap it.
Got a couple of things. I got to apologize for confusing mix shots last week. I did not mean to do that, and I know I started something that I know you don't like. So, and the other thing is, man, was I wrong. I was wrong. I had that hopium, and it flew out the window. It lasted almost a half before it flew out the window, but it flew out the window. So I had a question with the Talking Cowboys guys. I just asked them, I said, what's your take on the possibility that with all the injuries we had this year, Mike McCarthy isn't replaced? I know you're not looking at that. I know that, but the one-year contract, everything that's been going on, that's been the storyline all year long. Do you think that plays into it with the decision Jerry Jones makes and he winds up keeping McCarthy? With that being said, I'll hang up. Hey, you guys have a great day. We'll talk to you later, brother.
All right. No, I think he said injuries. Does the injury situation affect the decision that he makes? I don't think so. I think it's unfortunate, but I don't think so, because if that's what you're asking, if you're asking, is he going to give him a new contract next year because of the injuries? No, I think the injuries have definitely hurt this team this year, but there's other signs that haven't gone well that I think he does have. There is something of his control there, and so and we've talked about it before. If he really wanted to give him another contract, he would have given it to him last year, if you really wanted to do that. So I think this was kind of a let's see how it goes year, and it is obviously not going well. So, but we'll see. Everybody has time to change the narrative a little bit. Time is certainly running out for this team, and time is running out for this show as well. It's been a great one. Appreciate all you guys calling in. For Chris Beam, I'm Nick Eatman. We will see you tomorrow on Cowboys Storyline.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?